Hello and welcome to Bonus Bookworms. It's the show where we play through a book and enjoy ourselves. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Joe.
And boy, oh boy, we got a very special episode for you.
This is game show edition.
Yes, this is like the Family Ties episode where they deal with like addiction to cocaine.
Do you mean this is an intervention for me, Alex? Are you saying something?
Yeah, Joe, you have a problem.
A book problem.
A very big book problem. And right now you're...
I can't read fast enough. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, you're like, for how many years on the reading challenge?
Basically since Charlotte was born. So.
Yeah, I think I've only won once, or did I win twice? I don't
won
even
twice, I thought.
Okay.
I think Becky basically just usually wins, but you won last year, I think, or 2 years ago, and
yeah, I won once. I was really proud of myself, and then I fell off.
yeah, you fell off the wagon there,
Yeah.
and you just I don't know, you spent a year not reading. Like I think I had almost as many books as you.
Yeah, I'm like on pace to set a new personal best though this year. I'm crushing
Yeah,
it.
those Fable graphic novels are really helping you there.
Yeah, I'm down to my last 3 though, so it's it's gonna be. I got to figure out what to do after that, and then
That's what 23 books though.
yeah, that's 22. Excuse
22,
me,
yeah.
and I read some last year.
Okay,
I
I do have to go through like the last 2 or 3 myself on that series, so don't ruin it for me.
Okay,
Have you done any of the spin-off series?
I have not. I have no interest in the spin-offs.
Jack of Fables is quite fun.
It is.
Yes,
He's such a bad character. It's
he's
awful.
a terrible character, but it's so good.
Yeah, he.
Anyways, we're getting a little
Yeah.
we're getting a little distracted here, talking about stuff that nobody else cares about.
Yeah. Well, Fables is very popular. Thank you very much.
I know I started a trend, didn't I?
You sure did. Yeah, we are. I saw this book at my library, and I just had to play it with you. We're gonna go back to 90s era elementary school.
Choose your own adventures.
Oh yeah, choose your own adventures, which have been
I-
around since the 80s. but
I hated those books. I was terrible at them, and I gave up like after like I'd try it and I'd die almost immediately.
Yeah, I remember doing the R.L. Stein Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventures, and I think I won exactly once. Like the entire time I played through those books, and those are not as complicated as the one we're playing today.
I remember I did a ninja one, and I literally every choice I made, I would die within like 5 moves. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy how hard some of these can be, because it's really just like a 50-50 guess. Either you're gonna go down the right path or you're not.
And there's usually a lot of ways to die, and not a lot of ways to survive.
Yes, the path to success is a very narrow one.
So what's the book we're playing?
We're going to be playing the Darkness Over Arkham. It's part of the Arkham Horror Investigators Gamebook series by Jonathan Green. So Arkham, if you're unfamiliar, is a very Lovecraftian. It's not the Arkham Asylum.
I was
you
gonna
see.
say it's kind of a dual thing there, isn't it?
Yeah. Forget Batman. Think Lovecraft, without the racism.
No racism, but that's your favorite, Alex.
Oh, please. All right, back of the book, anyway, it goes. When a renowned professor is found dead and his body melted, it's up to the investigators of Arkham to discover what occult horrors were behind his fate. Pick your path, investigator, and collect allies along the way to hunt down this killer before they strike again. However, Arkham is full of mysteries, with many wishing to keep the truth buried, and who are hungry to usher in a new era full of death and darkness to devour the world you know. Can you stop it before it's too late?
Probably not.
Yeah, so this is a pretty complicated book. It's got like almost like a D&D style character sheets that come with it. So you get to choose a character, and there's like various attributes that help you, and abilities, magical powers. You also have fatal flaws, weaknesses, and a whole stat sheet with willpower, intellect, combat, health, and sanity. You get a starting item. You get a whole bunch of stuff. So, Joe, you chose one of these characters.
Yeah, so before we played this, I said, I'm just going to play through a couple times, go very basic, not try to beat the game, just play it as straight as I can. So I started off as Rex, the
The reporter.
the reporter, and played it through, and I think I ended in 15 moves before I just went home and nothing happened. Then I went through as Cho, or Chow, is it Cho?
Cho, yeah.
Cho, a underground boxer, and went a slightly different path, but ended up within 12 moves just going home. So this time I picked Agnes, the waitress, and this is how we're going to play through. I have a willpower of 5, intellect of 2, combat of 2, health of 6, but a good sanity of 8. I have no resources, clues, but also no doom. I do have the heirloom of Hyperborea. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which will give me extra resources if I do well with willpower. My abilities, I am a sorcerer, mystic, and have arcane studies, whatever that does for me. But I am also haunted.
So you have your major weakness is...
It's haunted.
Oh, it says you have dark memories.
Oh, yes, dark memories. So I'm haunted by
Yes.
dark memories.
Yeah. And so yeah, they'll help you or hurt you throughout the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do think that the best character, or the easy character, is probably the reporter, in my opinion. Of the two other playthroughs I did. Alex, you played through too, didn't you?
Yeah,
You were actually trying to play it just to see how far it would go, right?
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to the characters. I think I went as Rex. Yeah, I wound up, I went to jail, and then I went home, and nothing happened.
Yeah, you go to jail a lot in this game.
Yeah. So we are going to do 3 playthroughs, right?
No, we're going to do one playthrough.
1 playthrough.
See where it gets us. And if this is like a 10-minute episode, we'll do a second playthrough.
Yes. We'll, this could be either like 2 hours or 30 minutes. Time will tell. All right. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading because I'm narrating this gun.
He is the game manager here, the GM, or the dungeon master, the DM. And I'm just the lowly aging waitress.
Yes, I'm the BR, the book reader. All right. We're going to start with Agnes's intro. And just for quick reference, if we do play a second game, I'm not going to reread pages already read. So it might go a little faster the second time.
So 10 minutes will be 5 minutes.
Exactly. It's the end of another long, hard shift at the diner, but working as a waitress at Velma's remains the perfect cover for you. It means you can pursue any threads that might provide you with more information about your past life as a powerful sorcerer and allows you to continue the battle your former self started, fighting the machinations of the myriad eldritch powers that would see Arkham destroyed. Some of the diner's clientele would probably be shocked to learn that the town's history of witchcraft and strange goings-on was the reason you moved to Arkham. Some, but not all. Velma's a hotbed for gossip and rumor relating to Arkham's dark underbelly, and your nightmares concerning black-robed figures intoning chilling incantations have only worsened in recent days. All
Spooky.
Right. Chapter 1. Velma's Diner is a popular hangout in the town of Arkham. It provides precisely what its clientele expects at a diner: hot coffee, hearty home-cooked food, and a place to rest out of the wind and rain. But it's not the kind of place you can stay forever. Through the windows, in the world beyond the diner, you can see the sun creeping toward the fir-lined hills to the west of Arkham. It's time for you to leave. You begin gathering your things when a raised voice takes hold of your attention, and your eyes lock on one of the booths where 2 older people are sitting. One is a gray, bearded man, while the other is a thin, spiky woman, her silvery hair cut into a severe bob. Their clothes are not only befitting of their advancing years, but also suggest they are of an academic persuasion. You know the type well. There are plenty to be found in Arkham. As if aware that their heated exchange has drawn your gaze, the woman gives you a caustic stare before lowering her voice and resuming her intent discussion with the man. You may not be able to hear what she is saying, but from her body language, the way she leans forward, her shoulders hunched, one index finger stabbing at the air, it is clear that she is unhappy about something. The man, on the other hand, has assumed an aloof attitude toward their exchange and seems to say barely anything in response to the woman's tirade. Between them are 2 empty mugs and a plate smeared with grease. the uncleared crockeries attracting flies that always seem to manage to sneak into the diner through the open doors and windows. However, their presence seems unusual at this time of year. One scuttles about the table, no doubt dining on the scattered sugar crystals that dust the melamine surface. As you watch, you become hypnotized by its unpredictable jittering dance and are startled when the woman slams her hand down on top of it in a moment of impassioned anger. As the man mutters something back at her, she pulls her hand back and, in the blink of an eye, puts her fingers to her lips as if passing something to her mouth. The action happens so quickly, you wonder if it was all your imagination. But when you glance back at the table, the fly is gone. You feel a strange twist in your stomach. You have been exposed to unexplainable strange behavior before, and it never ends well. No matter how peculiar the town of Arkham is, it is still your home, and you feel compelled to protect it no matter what. But did you really witness the old woman eat a fly? It's like that nursery rhyme. Your ruminations on what you did or did not see are the matter of fleeting second as the woman abruptly stands. Clearly, whatever the old man said has drawn things to a conclusion. She storms out of the diner. Mere moments later, having deposited a crumpled dollar bill on the table, the man follows. But you do not get the impression that the woman will have waited for him. It is only after the couple have left, and the diner door has swung shut behind the man, that you notice a notebook lying on the floor next to the booth where a pair were sitting. It is nothing like the notepads used by those who wait tables at the diner to take customers' orders, so you can only assume one of the academics must have dropped it. Without drawing attention to yourself, you approach the table and, crouching down, pick up Dr. Blaine's notebook. Flicking through it, you see that the pages are filled with handwritten notes in a language you don't understand. So add Dr. Blaine's notebook to your inventory. Do you want to take a moment to study the jotter more carefully, or leave the diner in pursuit of the academics and return the notebook to its rightful owner?
Can you read that again, Alex? The whole thing?
What's that?
I don't think it was long enough.
Yeah, that was 2.5 pages.
We are going to be nosy because the other game playthroughs I did not read it. I'm gonna read the notebook. Okay. So where does that take us to?
That'll take us to section 45. The jotter is filled with esoteric scribblings, executed in a careful hand, but all as unintelligible as they are beautifully written. Some pages are covered in picture script, but like nothing you have seen before, while others bear line after line of what looks like mirror writing, but which, when reversed, still make no sense. And then there are the drawings. One appears to be that of a curious vessel shaped like a giant cicada, and covered in more of the curious pictograms. Others appear to be anatomical illustrations, but of things composed of malformed claws, distended jaws, and too many eyes. Just looking at the crude images makes you feel uneasy, as if one of those hideous things is reaching out to lay a claw on you even now. You tell yourself you're being silly, but glance over your shoulder anyway, just in case. Take -1 sanity and +1 clue.
Oh boy, got my first clue. Good thing I got lots of sanity, down to from 8 to 7.
You dread to think what secrets the notebook contains, but you still feel an overwhelming urge to find out more, if only because of the strange behavior exhibited by the arguing academics. And you will remain ignorant of the truth unless you can find someone to help you decode the symbols within. When you think of arcane symbols, there's one place that springs to mind immediately. Do you want to take Dr. Blaine's notebook to Ye Old Magic Shop in Uptown, or chase after the academics?
Let's go to the magic shop.
Magic shop it is. All right, you're going to section 171. It's a nice long one again, thanks.
You're welcome.
For all its decaying old world charm, the quaint window displays of horoscopes and tarot cards, Ye Old Magic Shop of Arkham hides its true nature in plain sight. Most who find themselves walking past the store have no idea that it is a haven for those practitioners of the esoteric arts, for want of a better phrase. Despite the late hour, Ye Old Magic Shop is still open. As you enter the establishment, a bell rings somewhere nearby, and hearing clicking footsteps, your attention is drawn to the gray-haired woman who is now standing behind the counter. Your gaze briefly flickers below the counter's glass cabinets, which are full of esoteric curiosities. He likes the term esoteric. She wears a fashionable blouse and slacks and a startling amount of antique jewelry. Her reputation precedes her. This is Miriam Beecher, the proprietor of the magic shop. "Can I help you?" she asks pleasantly, whilst fixing you a look with the most piercing eyes. In spite of any fears you might have about letting others know you are in possession of Dr. Blaine's notebook, you came here specifically to have someone help you decode its contents. Proffering Miriam the notebook, you ask if she can help you translate what's written within. She pauses before taking it from you, then gives it a few pages a cursory glance. "As a rule of thumb, you should not meddle in things you do not understand," she says coldly. That piercing stare of hers unrelenting. "Especially here in Arkham." You explain that it's too late for that, to which she replies, "Then there will be a price to pay." "I have money," you tell her. "I do not mean money," she says, and you feel a chill creep into your limbs as goose flesh rises on your skin. "Do you still desire to discover the truth, no matter what it may cost you?" Well, do you? Do you want to leave the magic shop before finding yourself writing a check your body can't cash? Or are you prepared to gain insight to the contents of the notebook?
Let's gain some insight. I'm curious, Alex.
All right.
I want to know.
Insight. We're going to go down to section 161. No matter what it costs you, you must know what secret information is hidden within Dr. Blaine's jotter. "Oh, very well, follow me," says the venerable Miriam Beecher. And she leads you to the back of a room, draped with moldering curtains and threadbare gauzy drapes that make you feel like you have been transported into a down-at-heel fortune-teller's tent. She sits down on one side of a small round table and invites you to take a seat opposite her. Take the secret fortune-teller. "What I'm about to share will change you forever," she says, placing Dr. Blaine's notebook between you. "Once the door to knowledge has been opened, you will not be able to forget what you discover lies ahead. Ever. Are you ready?" You nod to confirm you are, even as you feel the shadows at the corner of the room thicken and swell. "Do these symbols appear at all familiar to you?" she asks, opening the notebook, seeming at random. If you have the Ancient Languages ability. Do you have that?
I do not.
All right, then we have to go to section 231. "I've never seen anything like them before," you tell Miriam. "I was hoping you might be able to tell me what they are." "Take a look at them again," says the owner. "Do you see anything now?" You stare at the curious sigils until they start to swirl on the page before you. Make a pattern recognition test. Roll one die and add your intellect.
Oh boy, I'm kind of a dummy here. So, rolling one die. I have an intellect of 2, remember. What do I need to score?
Let's see. If you get a 7 or less, we go one side, or 8 or higher, go another way. You can spend one clue to roll 2 dice and pick the highest.
Well, I rolled a dice, and I rolled a 1, so I got a 3.
3, okay. We are going to go to section 271. "I have an idea," the proprietor of the magic shop says, a guileless expression on her face. "Leave the notebook with me, and I'll see if I can decode it for you. What do you say?" How do you feel about handing Dr. Blaine's notebook over to Mrs. Beecher? Do you want to go along with her suggestion, or not give her the notebook?
We're going to leave her the notebook.
Giving her the notebook. All right. I'm going to go to section 291. You hand the notebook to Miriam Beecher. Take the notebook out of your character sheet and take -1 resource and -1 clue.
What if I had no resources?
Then nothing happens, I believe. Miriam Beecher tells you to come back tomorrow, and with that, ushers you out of the shop. Take the secret, Hocus Pocus, and turn to 141. You leave the magic shop, the bell jangling cheerily as you step over the threshold and back into the chilly night. However, you cannot shake the chill that has already permeated your bones since entering the shop. Spend 1 resource or lose 1 willpower.
Well, I have no resources, so I guess I lose willpower.
You consider the words written on the flyleaf of the jotter. Perhaps it would make more sense to head for Miskatonic University instead, and you have to go to Section 21. By the time you arrive at Miskatonic University, night has spread its purple mantle over Arkham. The collegiate buildings are visible only as blocks of shadow, but with certain elements, such as entrances and windows, picked out by spots of artificial light and even the occasional flickering oil lamp. But one building is more brightly lit than the other. Due to the presence of several police cars and other vehicles, their headlight beams on full, and that is the Science Building. Not only that, but a cordon has been erected around the entrance to the building, manned by a single police officer. Nearby, a huddle of people are in deep discussion. 3 of the men are wearing peaked caps and uniforms of Arkham Police Department, while the last is a tall man wearing a long trench coat. Do you have the police or detective ability?
I do not.
All right. Well, what do you want to do? You can attempt to sneak past the police cordon and enter the building, or talk to the policeman.
We're going to sneak past the police.
All right. We're going to go to 61. If I had to make a prediction, I would get my dice ready.
For another terrible roll.
You sidle up to the piece of rope that has been used to cordon off the entrance to the Life Science Department, and when the rookie who is on duty has his back turned, you slip underneath it and into the building. You do not get very far before you hear rapid footsteps behind you, and feel a firm hand on your shoulder. Stop right there! It is the man wearing the trench coat. He whips out his badge, and you need the name. That's weird. I think there's a typo in here. He whips out his badge, and you read the name upon it. Who are you, and what business do you have here? Detective Hardin asks. You saw the rope, right? You know you just crossed a police line? You are going to have to think fast if you're going to come up with a convincing excuse. Make a quick thinking test. Roll 1 die and add your intellect. You can spend a clue to roll 2 dice and pick the highest, and if you have the quick-witted ability, add 1.
Well, I have no intellect, no clues. Well, I got 2 intellect, but no clues, so here we go for a bad roll. I roll a 5, so that gives me a 7.
5 gives you a 7. All right. For 7 or more, you turn to 101. I think that will bode well in your favor. And so I had to find out what was going on, because I was hoping to return this to Dr. Blaine, you conclude, risking it all and showing Detective Hardin the notebook.
Which I don't have.
Which is interesting. He opens it, checks the inscription inside the front cover, then flicks through the hand-scrawled pages. Looks like it's written in some sort of code, if you ask me, says the detective. That's what I thought, you reply. I'm starting to think there's a plot hole here, but we're going to roll through it. Well, good luck decoding it now. After all, I'm afraid Dr. Blaine's not going to be much help. Why is that, you ask? Because he's dead. At that moment, as if on cue, 2 morticians emerge from the science building, carrying Dr. Blaine's body on a stretcher. His corpse might be covered by a blanket, but somehow you know it's him. You shiver, as if someone just walked over your grave. So what happens now? You ask the detective. To him, the body will be taken to St. Mary's, where a full autopsy will be carried out in due course to determine the cause of death. The detective hands the jotter back to you. But if you mean regarding the notebook, not a lot. Keep it. I don't think it's going to be of much use to our inquiries at the moment. He hesitates momentarily before handing you a small rectangle of card printed on his name and a telephone number. Here's where you contact me if you need to. You thank him. Put Detective Hardin's card in your inventory. Take the secret, the detective. You do not have a black talon, I believe.
I do not.
All right, we'll go to page 140. There's clearly more to this mystery than just the strange fate met by Dr. Blaine. But where do you want to go next in search of answers? This is interesting. Guess I'm going on. If you know of a suitable location, ignoring the definite article, the place name will be made up of 2 words. For example, if you wanted to visit the city hall, you would just use the words city and hall. There's a puzzle here you need to solve. Turn the letters of the location into the numbers using the codes A1, B2, Z26, and so on. Add the numbers together and then turn to the same section as the total. If the section makes no sense, you have either made a mistake in your calculations or that particular place cannot be visited. If there's someplace else you know of that you could try, repeat the process outlined above. Interesting. So I'm going to show you this. See if you can make heads or tails of that. I'm going to pause the recording. We are back.
Okay, so yeah, I went through it. Apparently, because we have found a plot hole and none of this makes any sense to anything that we have read before. We have clearly made it past where we were supposed to make it past, and we have hit a dead end. So, where's that send us, Alex?
We're going to go to section 3. It appears you have run into a dead end. Without any idea where to go in search of further clues, the mystery of Dr. Blaine's fate will remain just that, a mystery. You do not know what is going on, or if any of what you have discovered signifies, but you feel on edge, as if something terrible threatens Arkham. From this day on, you will go about your life with one eye always looking over your shoulder, because you know, deep in your bones, that a great darkness is gathering over Arkham, and none shall escape its pall. Take the secret, Dark Omens. The end.
Well, that went nowhere fast.
Yeah, it strikes me as hard to get into the secrets of the book.
So that was 13 chapters that we went through there,
Yes.
which is about average of what I've been doing when I was just playing it straight, as a upstanding citizen just trying to do their due diligence. So this one where I was like, I'm just going to play it like trying to solve the mystery. Did not work. So how long did we take there, Alex?
Let's see. It took about 20 minutes
Okay,
to play.
Let's do one more. I have a thought of
You have
where
a
I want
thought?
to go.
You're going to try it out?
Yeah.
All right.
This time I'm going to go back to playing as Rex, though.
Rex. Okay, I'll read Rex's intro, and then...
I'll give you a quick, his scorecard real quick. Actually, you got a scorecard there. Why don't you read it?
All right, so Rex Murphy, the reporter. Willpower of 3, intellect of 4, combat of 2, health of 6, sanity of 9. Your starting item is a reporter's notebook and a clue. Your major ability is you're a reporter. If you roll a 6 while using your intellect, you gain a clue. Your other ability is you are a seeker. Your major weakness, Rex's curse. If you roll a double when using your intellect or willpower, treat the score on each dice as a 1. Your other weakness, you are cursed.
Okay, so you ready?
Yep, and I'm going to assume since it makes you keep a dark omen, I would say keep that clue, and I would say that if you want to play it that way, we can transfer clues over from the last.
We'll play it straight.
Okay.
We'll play it straight. So let's go with that.
All right. Well, let's find out what brings you to the diner. The lead to another story lost, this time because the astrophysicist appears to have upped and gone. Certainly no one at the Warren Observatory seemed to know where Dr. Waugh was when you questioned them earlier this afternoon. You're lucky that Doyle Jeffries, editor of the Arkham Advertiser, seems to like you. Otherwise, you're not sure how much longer you could last in this town. You stare at the swirling mud-black liquid as you stir your coffee. Then, when you're sure none of the diner staff are looking, you take out a bottle of whiskey. Add that to your inventory, and quickly pour some into the cup before returning the bottle to your coat pocket. As you sip the boosted beverage, you console yourself with the fact that Velma's Diner is somewhere that even the most rookie reporter could sniff out a story, and so you wait. All right, so we read section 1 already.
So we go to section 1, which is the old couple at the dining room having their fight, eating flies, and...
The old man leaves his notebook behind. Do you want to take a moment to study the jotter this time, or do you want to leave the diner and pursue the academics?
We're going to leave the diner and pursue. This is the starting the route I did the first playthrough, but I have a sneaking suspicion I know what to do now.
All right, so we're going to flip to page 75. Having already packed away your personal possessions, you exit the diner. It is late afternoon, and there is an unseasonal chill in the air. Looking left and right along the street, you catch sight of the two academics walking away from each other in opposite directions. Opening the notebook again in the hope that it might provide you with inspiration regarding who to follow, you see something written inside the front cover in the top right-hand corner of the first page. Property of Dr. Blaine, Zoology Department, School of Life Sciences, Miskatonic University. Do you want to follow the older gentleman or try and catch up with the elderly woman?
Well, we're going to go with the sexist answer and go with the gender norms and assume that the man is the doctor, and we're going to follow him.
Oh my. All right, that brings us way over to 197. Heading left along the street, you hurry after the old man, waving the notebook in the air as you call out to him. However, he appears deep in thought and is walking quickly, for he disappears around the corner of a grocery store at the end of the street without hearing you. You keep to the end of the street, where it joins a busier thoroughfare. Cars, trucks, and buses pass you in a constant stream of traffic, but there is no sign of the old man. Could he have disappeared into one of the many buildings that line the street? Or perhaps he boarded a bus. No matter what the truth may be, you are unlikely to relocate him, wandering up and down Peabody Avenue. You have a much better idea anyway. You glance at the inscription inside the front cover once more and determine to make your way to Miskatonic University, where either you can leave the notebook there for its owner to collect, or perhaps even bump into the mysterious Dr. Blaine yourself. Going to 227, guys. All right, this is a long one.
Oh
Buckle
boy,
up.
here we go. Hope you guys like Alex's voice in this episode because you're getting a lot of it.
Yeah, I'm doing the legwork here. By the time you arrive at Miskatonic University, dusk is falling and the chill in the air leaches the warmth from your bones. You make your way along paved paths that crisscross carefully tended lawns between the gray stone academic buildings, following signs until you reach the part of the campus where the School of Life Sciences is located. From there, you make your way through dimly lit corridors, redolent with the smell of decaying wood pulp and tobacco smoke, until you find yourself in a corridor at the top of the building, standing before a walnut-paneled door. Secured to the door is a brass name plaque, Dr. Blaine, Department of Zoology. Lying on the carpeted floor of a corridor is a handkerchief. Bending down, you pick it up and see that it is embroidered with DB. Add handkerchief to your inventory, if you wish.
I do wish. I will add that.
You knock on the door, which creaks open at your touch, even though no one welcomes you or beckons you to enter. You step into the zoologist's study, nonetheless. If Dr. Blaine isn't there, you can leave the notebook for him. A large mahogany desk dominates the room, which also is crammed with bookcases and glass-fronted cabinets that make the space appear more cramped than it really is. Sat in a chair behind the desk and facing the door, you recognize the gray-haired old man you saw arguing earlier with the spiky woman, except that he isn't sitting. Rather, he is sprawled in his seat with his head thrown back so that he is staring at the ceiling. "Dr. Blaine?" you say, your voice sounding strangely loud as it cuts through the musty ticking clock stillness of the room. The banging of a window draws your attention from the motionless body to the open aperture opposite you, beyond the desk. Your mind racing, you start to come up with all sorts of questions and possible explanations regarding the scene in front of you. Is Dr. Blaine dead? Did someone attack him and then make their escape through the window? You certainly didn't pass anyone on the way to his office, which lies at the end of a long corridor. And if someone did attack him, why? Were they looking for something? And if so, did they find it? You only have a moment to decide what you want to do. You can check if the old man is still alive. You can run to the open window, or you can search the study for clues.
Let's search the study for clues.
All right, I got to go from 227 down to 33.
So now we're veering off from the first time I played here, Alex. So we're into new territory for me.
Right, new for me as well. The study is a mishmash of all manner of academic clutter, many piles of books and bundles of paper, but noticeably there are some models of curious-looking animals that look like skulls of one of the big cats in a dusty glass case and a plaster cast of a footprint, but whether it is that of a great ape or a bear or something else, you can't tell. Your attention is next drawn to an arrangement of framed photographs on the wall to your left. Among them is an academic certificate of an ornate giltwood frame declaring that Devlin Blaine had a doctorate of philosophy in zoology. Looking more closely at the photographs, you see that they all have one thing in common. They all feature the bearded gentleman, currently spread-eagled in his chair behind the desk. He is receiving an award at a smart dinner in one of them, standing with other members of the faculty in some, and visiting the Canadian Rockies in another. There's no doubt in your mind now that the lifeless figure is indeed Dr. Blaine. Take one clue. On the same wall of the photographs is a large pinboard, adorned with all manner of newspaper clippings, star charts, and hand-drawn sketches, annotated with incomprehensible symbols. A large bookcase covers the entirety of the wall opposite the pinboard. Trying to ignore the disturbing presence of the apparently dead Dr. Blaine, where do you want to look first in search of more information? You can look at the pinboard, the large bookcase, or the desk.
Let's look at the pinboard.
The pinboard, jumping up to 114. The pinboard is covered with all sorts of pictures, photographs, maps, and newspaper clippings. The picture grabs your attention first. They are drawings of all manner of curious-looking creatures that appear like they would be subject of folklore studies rather than zoology. However, there are numerous artist impressions of what appears to be a curious egg. And if the figures drawn beside them are anything to go by, it is gigantic, many times the height of a man. Take The Secret, a curate's egg. The photographs all seem to have been taken in a jungle somewhere and feature a party of explorers. Among them is a much younger version of the man whose body is currently keeping you company in Dr. Blaine's office. The various newspaper articles all appear to relate to reports of unsubstantiated witness accounts of curious phenomena in and around Arkham. Most prominent among the maps is one of the town. A selection of places have been circled using a red wax crayon, but most of them show no indication of what might be there. There are 2 circled locations, however, that pinpoint specific buildings. One is a house in French Hill District, and the other is Miskatonic University itself, where you are right now. Take a clue.
Okay, and I got in another clue. Oh boy.
A gust of wind from the open window sets the papers pinned to the board rustling, and you worry why it's unlatched at all. Where do you want to look next in your quest for answers? You can look at the desk, the bookcase, through the open window, or somewhere other than Dr. Blaine's study. 4 options.
Let's go to the bookcase.
The bookcase. The bookcase is on 175. This is exciting. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, we're finally getting somewhere, aren't we?
The bookcase is a veritable treasure trove of esoteric literature. There's one ancient tomb concerning alliances and enmities among the outer gods, another called The Gospel According to Arkat, and a third which is a guide to translating ancient languages. If you want to take the language guide, take the ancient languages ability. That would have come in handy earlier.
Yes, it would. So, ancient language ability, and I'm taking that book.
Yes. All right, and we're going to go to 215. You are abruptly aware of pounding footsteps coming down the corridor toward the study, and in the next instant, 4 police officers burst into the room, followed by a jittery-looking member of the science building's secretarial staff. "Hands in the air," the burly sergeant leading the cops shouts. And you do as he says. His eyes flick between you and the body in the chair. The appalled horror creeps across his face with what feels like agonizing slowness. Now we're going to go to 262. Before you know it, the gruff sergeant is informing you of your supposed crimes, while his rookie colleague goes to handcuff you. You are the chief suspect in what has suddenly become the homicide of Dr. Blaine of Miskatonic University's Life Sciences Department. Do you want to go quietly or resist arrest?
Ooh, let's try resisting arrest.
Resisting arrest, 299.
Made it to the end of the book, did we?
Just about. Yeah, this is like the second to last one. You pull away from the young cop and make a break for it, hoping to flee from the police officers before they know what's going on. But this isn't the first time the officers of Arkham Police Department have had to deal with an absconding suspect. The sergeant sticks out a foot, tripping you and sending you sprawling on the gravel. Lose a health because of the painful grazes you suffer to your hands and knees. Before you can pick yourself up, the cop drags you roughly to your feet, cuff your hands behind your back, and bundle you into a police car, which then carries you across town to the police station in East Town. Take the weakness criminal and turn to page 59. On reaching the police station, you are rough-handed until you are standing in front of the custody sergeant, ready to be processed and charged, before finally being locked up. Unfortunately, no one seems interested in hearing your side of the story, and your claims of innocence and simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time go unheeded. You do not have a pistol, correct?
I do not have pistols.
All right,
no.
we are going to 19 then. Your fingerprints are taken. Record your inky fingers on your character sheet.
Recorded.
And you soon find yourself locked in a holding cell in the depths of Easttown Police Station with all the other ne'er-do-wells who have been arrested this evening. A man with a ragged beard buried in a heavy overcoat snores in one corner, while an elderly woman dressed in a long patched dress and shawl sits on the bench, staring vacantly into the middle distance. From one comes an aroma of alcohol and worse, while the other projects an aura of faded splendor, her shawl, clothes, jewelry, and even her face giving the impression that they were all gorgeous before impecunity and a life of hardship ravaged her beauty. You resign yourself to a long wait before being able to speak with anyone who might be able to help you with your current predicament, and take a seat on the bench beside the woman. Rather unsettlingly, she mutters to herself, "He doesn't trust that Professor Nidus, you know." She looks at you then. "Her of the Life Sciences Department. Doesn't trust her one bit. And he's not too keen on that Dr. Waugh, either. He's what do you call it? An astrophysicist," she says, breaking the word down to its component parts. "He works at the Warren Observatory, but hardly ever leaves his office." "Who doesn't?" you ask, unable to help yourself. "Trust them, I mean." "Dr. Blaine, of course," the woman says with a chuckle, giving you a nudge with her elbow. How does she know so much about Dr. Blaine and his associates? She suddenly grabs your hands in hers, and her demeanor changes. She fixes you with a penetrating stare. "I see darkness in your future." You gasp at this rather unexpected turn of events. Her behavior both perturbs and intrigues you. Do you want to pull your hands away, or leave them there and see what happens next?
We're going to leave them there and see what happens next,
Right.
Alex.
Point to 159.
This is getting intense now, huh?
Oh, yeah. You've made it more steps than last time.
Woohoo!
Or actually,
and I gained more clues this time.
the exact-
I'm doing a lot better this time. Gaining information anyways.
By that I mean that you've made it the exact same amount of times, but you have more options, so you will make it further. You find yourself transfixed by the woman's gaze. There's something there, moving in the pinpricks of darkness that are her pupils. And then she speaks. "When the moon in darkness dies, then a new god shall arise. 1 from 3 shall claim the prize. 1 called from the burning pit, 1 that seeks the veil to split, the last the child its egg forfeit." The lilting chant sounds like a prophecy more than anything else. Take a clue, and the secret cracked.
Correct. And gain secret. I'm up to 4 secrets, or 4 clues.
But the look in her eyes and her subtle power behind her words unnerve you. Make a fear test. Roll a 1 die and add your willpower. You can spend a resource to roll 2 dice and pick the highest. If you have the weakness haunted, deduct 1. What's the result?
So, repeat that out.
You have to make a willpower roll.
Willpower roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got willpower of 3. I have
That's
no
one.
resources.
All right, so if you get a 6, it'll be one answer. If it's less than 6, it'll be the other one.
Come on, 6. 3.
3, all right. So you're going to go to 199. It's no good. The woman's stare is too intense. What is she sharing with you? It's too terrifying to bear. You pull your hands free of her grip at last. As you do so, her shoulders sag and her hands drop to her lap. She looks utterly exhausted. She does not utter another word, but she does not need to. The truths she has revealed to you, and you know that they are truths, are enough to shake you to your core, lose one's sanity, and turn to 219.
Man, this is not going my way now.
Yeah. You have been in a holding cell for an hour when the police officer appears before the bars and calls your name. Looks like you have a guardian angel, he says, unlocking the cell door. Seeing a quizzical look on your face, he adds, someone has bailed you out. Who, you ask? I'm not at liberty to say, but if I were you, I wouldn't waste time worrying about who got me out of jail. I'd skedaddle as fast as I could. That sounds like good advice. Before you know it, you are wandering the streets of Easttown as the street lamps come on, wondering what to do now. It feels like there are powers at work behind the scenes, moving their pawns into position, as if they are preparing for war, or the fulfillment of some prophecy. And Dr. Blaine's notebook is what got you caught up in this mystery in the first place. Perhaps there is something in there that could help you now, or perhaps there is some message you have received that could grant you much-needed insight. If there is, you will have 4 numbers associated with this piece of information. Add them together and turn to the section that has the same number as the total.
Yep, we failed here. We're going to a dead end, Alex.
All right, we're going to go to page 259.
Did not get enough clues. Damn it, boy.
Yeah, you got greedy, you look for more.
Well, if I had gone to the bookshelf first, I would have gone. They would have showed up right away, right?
Who, the cops?
The cops, yeah.
Yeah, I think you were right to find Dr. Blaine and look for clues.
Yes, but I should have gone to his desk before I went to the bookshelf.
Yeah, definitely.
Or I should have jumped out the window. Or looked out the window.
Yeah, we'll have to try new ones maybe on a different time, but let's read 259.
Okay.
Your investigation appears to have hit a dead end. With no idea what to do next, you have no choice but to go home. But as you walk the dark streets of Arkham alone, you cannot shake the feeling of impending doom that has settled over you. Take the secret dead end, 'cause it is the end.
Yep. Welp, there we are, Alex.
Yeah, there we have it.
I got arrested too quickly.
Yeah, that was Darkness Over Arkham. First one kind of went nowhere, and then the second one, yeah, you got arrested.
Damn it.
It was a valiant effort, though. I thought you had turned it into something there for a second.
I thought I had it too, but it's just that getting arrested too quick. I am curious to see where the looking out the window does or looking at his desk does. So,
yeah, this might be a fun one to replay at a later date.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe in a few months we'll pick it up again. It'll be a good October bonus episode, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I got another idea for October bonus.
Oh, well, fine.
You're not going to like it, but...
Well, fine, then be that way.
I am that way, Alex. So suck it.
Yeah, that was fun. We'll have to do that again.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. So, yeah, that was Darkness Over Arkham. If you at home have a copy of this book and you want to give it a try, see if you can beat Joe's high score of 16.
16 moves. Yeah, as soon as I went to jail, I'm like, crap, I don't think I got all the information I needed. So I got the location that I needed from the first game there, but I did not get the numbers I needed.
Yeah, the resisting arrest was definitely like a mislead, like, oh, you have a chance to get away from this, and this, nope.
Well, I think if I had not resisted arrest, there might have been some options too, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not. Probably not. I don't think there is. Just delayed the inevitable. Gave me a couple extra moves. That's all it did.
Yeah, like finding the ancient languages was good, but he had to like get out of there as fast as he could. So I think that'll.
Yeah,
I
think I needed to look at the window, look at the desk, and the board, then look at the bookshelf. So I think I just did it in the wrong order.
Yeah, order of operations.
Yeah.
It's hard when you got 4 choices and like.
Yeah, so the window. I think the window might be a way out, but who knows? We will find out someday, maybe.
Yeah, tune in on a later date. Keep tuning. If you like this kind of episode, drop us a comment. Say do more Arkham Horror. Do this book again. Choose an easier choose your own adventure.
I probably will still fail miserably. As I said, I'm terrible at these things. I always pick wrong.
If you like me reading a lot, I enjoy reading a lot. So that was a lot of fun. My voice hurts.
Well, my goal is completed then. Make Alex hoarse. So yeah, you have any other comments on this, Alex, or are we just kind of dragging on now?
Yeah, I say that's I guess tune in next time.
Okay, so
for more bookworms.
Yeah. So remember, we're Kindle Bookworms. We have an Instagram at Kindle Bookworms. If you want to DM us there, you can. We have an email if you'd rather email us, kindlebookworms@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group. We are on YouTube if you want to listen to us there. Alex has some books for sale.
Yep, we got Paul Plimpton versus Ragnarok and The Destroyer.
Very good. There will be a link to the Amazon place where you can buy those if you so wish. Please support Alex. He needs all the help he can get right now.
Please.
He is poorer than poor. It's amazing what he had to do just to get the gas money to come down here today. But we won't mention it because he's still
you don't want to know
he's still gonna have
money.
He's gonna have nightmares for a while as it is. Anyways, if you go to our Instagram page, you'll find a link tree where you can find links to my Medium and Substack where I do other book reviews, and Alex and I's Goodreads where you can see what else we are reading at this time if you want to keep track of our competition with us. And yeah, I think that is it, Alex. Anything else? Well, we're hosted by Podbean. Yeah, leave us comments, rate us on Apple and Spotify, comment on Spotify. We read all your comments. I read all the emails. It's pretty easy since no one talks to us. So, yeah. Let us know what you thought of this episode, please. Alex, get us out of here.
All right. Well, that has been Bonus Bookworms. I'm Alex.
And I'm Joe.
We'll catch you next time.
Late.